Good evening, everybody. Lifikile usuku bekade licelwa usuku elodliwanondlebe nabantu basephondweni bethunana. I think we are just going to give a bit of an introduction ubana izinto zimi njani kwenzeka ntoni kutheni silapha so that we know exactly ukuthi what is this all about. Elami igama ke nguLuyitumelo uDumi uSupini. We are broadcasting live at Ekofini and Co. Meaning that singabantu basephondweni sikule ndawo ke bethunana kwi-business of one of our own. The beauty of just relaxing kwi-business of one of your own when we never knew that we ever thought ukuthi someday sawurelaxa ngolu hlobo in these areas. Sihleli being part of celebrating the history of abantu basephondweni on what best they can do. So bethunana, anytime you want to come and enjoy and have a relaxation time, just know ukuthi you are going to be met by a place called Ekofini and Co. Enabantu aba very lovely, who've got a lovely hospitality, who serve the best food. Bendike ndathi ke ndiyafuna ukubenzela ndithe yintoni kale nto ufuna ukubenzela irecipe okanye pancake ezawubizwa ephondweni pancake. So that is yet to come. Apha ke ndihleli nomamu Vuyiseka Mbocela. Andanothi uba ndimthize ngoku okanye ndimthize later because the understanding is that she appears and we know her as the brand yasephondweni, kodwa the reality is that simazi engu-spokesperson kwa-education lo. And engu-spokesperson kwa-education ndiye ndayenza i-research nyana ke ndathi heyi uqhubeka ntoni nge-suspension. Ndaqala ndifuna ukuva kwabantu abamaziyo uba kuqhubeka ntoni nge-suspension. Heyi ndeva hayi izinto noko the tide has turned. The tide has really turned. So I think this is a cause for celebration. Kuba lo suspension leyo iyabonakala uba it's overturned. So I think it's part of jubilation having this moment naye to know that our spokesperson is still part of us, still part of education, kwisebe leka-education kwiMpuma Koloni. So I think this is part of that celebration that I think I'm going to hand over to her just to give a short introduction uba ungubani. And in front of me again, I've got a list of questions so that it's like simgrile kancinci. Awubi ngo-spokesperson for nothing. So we want you to ubana uyazi ukuthi you are the voice of the voiceless. You are representing the audience that never had an opportunity ubana angakwazi ukwazi uba represent. So I think through that ke bethuna I'll just hand over to her just to introduce her further nokuthi ungubani osuka phi enkosi kakhulu.
Okay. I think I must say good evening. Molweni ngale njikalanga bantu base-Eastern Cape. My name is Vuyiseka. It's Aviwe Mboxela, ndingowaseDutywa eGwadana. Indeed, I work for the Department of Education in the Eastern Cape, started in 2019. On 2 occasions, I have had an incident of being suspended. 2023, it went its own course. A lot of legalities in relation to that. And then in 2025 again, I got suspended. The DC of that second one is in session to a point of it being concluded, but still not at work. And for the purposes of this, it's happening. I would say there's going to come a time where I speak in detail of the two incidents that I've mentioned, the incident of 2023 and the incident of 2025. But
You will only talk about the issue that are related to pregnancy when there is marriage involved. So this is the life cycle that people want them to understand and the kids to understand while we are holding these sessions, because thina vanhu vasephondweni sifuna ukuzipresenta as those people so that abantwana bethu bazokwazi usi-understanda kusase-early. But not diverting from the point, what has kept you going through these suspensions? Thanks.
you know, um, let me be honest to anyone that is watching. Let me be honest. It has not been the most easiest 8 months of me. It has not, and I do not think that um, that 8 months can be erased by anything. But what kept me going, it's the village I come from. You see, where I come from, they do not read this Daily Dispatch. You see, they don't read whatever that is written on the news about me. And when I go back there, I receive warm welcome, right? And I receive people who see me as that person that they've known for a very long time. That's the first thing. The second one is knowing that as a country, we've got what is called a constitution. And that constitution has got a line there where it says, we the people. And,
Thina bantu.
and the conceptualization of that gives power to the people, right? It gives power to the people, Tina, we the people. It gives power to them, and the powerful people that are at the back of me, which are the ones that are coming from the village I come from, right? They are the one then that gives me a comfort, because I get to know that irrespective of everything that is happening, I have them. I have them, and as I have them, they have me. So that's what keeps me going. When I get to where I am today, which is East London, Ekofini, I don't get to be shaken by whatever that people get to say when I pass, because I know indoba kwingxolo yabantu of the village where I come from, and laa ngxolo yabo is not to do anything else except to say we are on your side. So that's what has kept me going. And sometimes when I do videos, I tell people, hey, ndilapha eGwadani, and that's where I get peace and tranquility. There is no noise there. Imoto igqitha kube kanye. After 2 hours, iphinde igqithe enye. You hear people, the love and everything else from your own people, the people that know you for the past 30 years. So that's what keeps me going. And that's why I always tell people that I can ever introduce myself enough without mentioning that I'm from Ecuador. I can't. It's not possible.
Ngubani wayesazi ukuthi ngenye imini sawu-interview umuntu othi usuke eGwadana. We always pass that route and you're like, there's a real place called Gwadana that exists. And who could have ever thought that ndizawuhlala umuntu waseGwadana and umuntu waseGwadana, people of Gwadana, akho kuthakatha bethuna neGwadana. I think this thing is dispelling the myth of lo mthakato. People in Gwadana bahlala, it's just a lovely living. You have seen a person. Why can't you learn le nto uba usuke eGwadana futhi? You may never know. People they will walk around with their myth.
I'm saying, hey, this is from Ecuador.
Yeah, but while we are moving forward, I think village life makes people grounded. I think you've said a mouthful about people from the village life, and me coming from the village myself, I know when we go there in December time, you get restitude, you get that moment of getting the visit any time of the day. People come to you because they know that you are there, and it makes you feel that if I'm being welcomed like this, why myself I'm not going to the people and feel free to be around people. So I think the village life, some that people who don't know village life, you've heard it for the first time what village life feels like from the horse's mouth. I think we have the question now that is breaking the ice. Because with other people, I don't know what has happened with you. We just broke the ice before we can even break it. Maybe because you're a spokesperson, you're the people's person. Okay.
Yes.
Then today, it just for us, our motto to break the ice, we always ask the person, what made you happy today? If we can just get that from you, what has made you happy today?
What makes me happy? What made me happy is to always have a understanding that South Africa can be better, right? And is to know that which that was once said, that South Africa is alive with possibilities. Even today is possible. Sikwi-phase ngoku Tshepo apha ekhantrini that akho mntu unozathi ndi-above the law, and that's what makes me happy. Akho mntu unothi ngoku hayi mna ndi-untouchable. That's what makes me happy every day. Andinanto okay, let me say my life, my village and simple life is perfect, right? But perfect as it is, it has made me to understand that I have this perfect life of a village. As a result, it's not an issue. The only thing that makes me happy every day, Tshepo, is to see the implementation of our own constitution. And what do I mean by that? Is to see people that ever thought that they are untouchable in this country being touched by the constitution of South Africa. That's what makes me happy. And is to know that there are people now that through the social media, they are able to talk to anyone, and they are able to call anyone, and they are able to tell anyone to be accountable. Kubhalwa nje one post into yoba, please, when you've been at work, at home for 8 months, account. That simple thing makes people to respond to the constitution of the country, which talks about accountability and what needs to be done for South Africa to go forward. That's what makes me happy every day. I don't want to lie. I'm not going to mention names, but the fact that there is no one who can be touched by the constitution of South Africa, that makes me happy, because we all ought to be humble before the constitution. If you think that you are smart, you are treasurer, it gets to be inserted. You comply to it. So every day ndirhalela uba ngumntu obhetele, ngokuba ndizazi into yoba ndenza izinto ngokomgqaliselo we-constitution yethu. You see? So nazi izinto ezindenza every day.
Who could have known that? I think, and if you I think I'm sitting with a voice of reason. Who could have come up with this angle of understanding the thought process, happiness? I mean, that somebody will just hit on the constitution, and you cannot talk about the constitution without you not having an understanding of that constitution. Because now it simply tells what one thing that makes you happy, something that you understand the effect, you're in your life and other people's lives as well. Wow, that is a mouthful. However, I wanted to understand then, if we are talking about that constitution as the one that is protecting all of us, including the resider of the constitution himself, the president, or the protector himself, what is your understanding about happiness? Maybe we'll be saying we are happy, or maybe only to find out that we are saying this word happy in a wrong way. I would love to just get the gist from you. What is your understanding of happiness while you are holding that thought, taking into account that ephondweni lethu,
Mhm.
we are the province with the highest unemployment. Having that said, would we say that you are happy when we know that there are people in your own province who go to sleep without food in their stomachs? How do you consider this happiness to be something that you can say you fully say you are happy, looking at the environment and just being open about the things that are happening holistically around you? Thanks.
You know the reason why Tshepo andingakhange ndithi hayi ndi-happy because my friend indithumelele ii-flowers is because ayinanto nokwenza loo nto nabantu base-Eastern Cape, right? Ungahappy because itshomi yakho ikuthumelele i-R200 uba mbothenga whatever, mbothenga i-chocolate ne-ice cream, right? But xa ungumboxela, what must make you happy? It's what affects the next person. Ndinga-happy uba my boyfriend this and that, but that does not affect the next person. What must make me happy as a person osuka e-Eastern Cape ene 43%, if I'm not mistaken, of unemployment, is that the unemployment in South Africa will be addressed by the performance of the constitution. The constitution of this country says all of the resources and the mineral resources beneath the soil and nolwandle olu must benefit abantu base-South Africa, right? So when the constitution is being implemented, it is at a snail's pace, however one that can define it. But the fact that the constitution is being implemented, it therefore means i-pronouncement zayo are going to change ubomi babantwana babantu. And that's what must make me happy, because i-personal glory yam ayizundinceda nento yoba ndithi ndi-happy because ndenzelwe inwele whatever, ayizuncedisa ugqitha ecaleni komntu onida i-R20 uthenga isonka, ozawuthi xa ngenayo adicide uchupila the bag that you have. Do you get it? So i-happiness yam into yoba ndi-happy because ndithengelwe i-ice cream has got nothing to do with abantu base-Eastern Cape. I-happiness yam that I need to have, it's a happiness that says the Constitution of South Africa, which says the mineral resources that are beneath the soil and the ones that are on top of the soil and everything else that we have, that we quantify it as wealth of the country, must benefit everyone. Once kuqaliswe kubonakala ngathi kusondelwa kuyo, that's what must make me happy, because ndizawukwazi ngoku ukugqitha elokishini eGcuwa okanye eMdantsane ndiphethe ifowuni ndingoyiki into ebingathi ixutshulwe because wonke umntu uyaphangela. So that is my understanding of my own happiness. Andizuba happy because ndithengelwe i-ice cream. What must make each and everyone happy, especially a person othi xa jongwayo kuthiwe this one is better off than us because yena ukurhulumente. Andizuba happy into yoba hayi ndithengelwe izihlangu ezitsha. No, that's not the issue. You must be happy that government is effective. You must be happy that government is responsive. You must be happy that people in all spheres of government, they are working across the board overnight, trying to change ubomi babanye babantwana balapha e-Eastern Cape, and the Eastern Cape is a problem. So as much as I know that there are a lot of comments that people can make, but from where I'm seated, I am not confining my thinking only for the Eastern Cape, but for South Africa, that there is a move now to implement the Constitution. However it is implemented, and whoever who gets to be a victim of the implementation of the Constitution, we don't care. For as long as implementwa kuprotectwa the constitution implementwa against umboxelo. Other people mustn't care to get it. So that's where that's how I define my own happiness, and that's what becomes the source of my happiness. Once in the province there is no municipality that has sent money back to provincial treasurer, there is a lot of development that is happening as it is currently. There's a lot of road infrastructural that's what makes me happy, because obabomi balami kusegwadane buzochinja to get it. So those are the things that makes me happy. Ubungazi uhlale nami 99% of the time I'm watching news. I don't know as Dr. Generations. I don't watch them. There's nothing wrong about that. I don't know the things of soapies and what. I watch what is happening in the country because I'm interested in the soul of the country.
You said a mouthful. Conditions of the people. Ingaske ungazibona zichinja. That's what makes you want to say, I fulfilled. I feel that there's something that has happened, and knowing very well that zikhona ezi zinto, we have these minerals, but the question is that how do these minerals get to benefit the people who are supposed to get to them? I think that's a very, 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 very point. Going forward, what has kept you upon it for this long? I mean, naiva guys, ukuthi apha siphethe the voice of reason. Like akuthethwa nje, into is well thought before it can be delivered, because unento ethi, I want the person osemkhukhwini feel that ndiyabelonga kule nto ithethwa apha. I want a person who's got nothing to eat today feel that there's a hope for tomorrow. There's this leader who is just in front of me, that by the virtue of her presence, I can have the hope for tomorrow, that there are people who are like this, there are people who reason like this, there are people who see our conditions, there are people who are looking forward that given the opportunities, they can make the changes that we want to see in our own lives. So when I'm asking these questions, guys, ngiyabona uba uyanda ingaske i-question noba ibinye besinokugxila kuyo, because the person understands the conditions, understands the situation of how this province works. But ke ngoku nyhani ke umntu onje, guys, niyambona uba uyi-asset of the country. Apha sithetha nge-asset of the country, guys. But why did this asset decide that kwii-opportunities ezingaka that are available for umntu ofana naye choose isephondweni?
You know, if I may tell you, since between 2019 and now, I got approached by 3 national departments that come work and most probably be placed in Gauteng. But Eastern Cape is Eastern Cape. You see, Eastern Cape is Eastern Cape, and I can't say I am at my highest point currently. And I don't think for now I have made enough meaningful contribution at government, in politics of the province, and also just generally in society. Andikabikho kulaa nto ithi no ndiyenzile indima yam ndingahamba ngoku. And you must understand that ndinexanduva of making nomntana owenza ugrade 12 ebheka esikolweni engenahlanga ayazi uba ngenye imini I can be mboxela. I have that responsibility to get it. So there are certain things endiqondayo into yoba I can't leave the province ingekazenzi. I can't. I've been approached by 3 departments and I turned them down. And respectfully so, and I said, no, I think I still need to be in the province. That's why I would remain in where I am in terms of employment until I reach where I say that this is enough. It's not that I don't have chances. They're there, they're men. Yeah, but they're there, they're men. Yeah.
I think where she's standing is that other people, they don't get satisfied when they see that the ground that they are walking on is not yet pregnant and full, that there's going to be a child that's going to be born and other babies. So where she's leaving me is to give that momentum that says, how do you live when you have not made enough impact? And when you feel that I'm not satisfied as much with the impact that I've made, I still think that there is a lot to offer in the Eastern Cape. Then the second point that I'm getting from this point was if I'm becoming part of them now, that means that now we are having a brain drain. Who is left behind to pick up these pieces to make this thing work? Because in actual fact, we live, but at the end, we must come back. We must go home. Go home to what? If we are not making an impact now, I think that's quite a mouthful. Then taking to the next step, just the highlights, just the peak of you, of the adult life in the point. Just give us just that highlight. You can like, yo, when I'm pointing out at this, this is my highlight. It might be anything, but up to you.
No, the high, coming from where I come from, eGwadani, i-highlight yam ngobomi. When i-highlight yam ngobomi, personally, it was to have an ability yokwakha indlu phekhaya kwamakhulu and ndakha indlu kwamakhulu ongasekhoyo kuba ndiyazi indlela owayeneminqweno ngayo. Abantu ndiyabaxelela xa nditsho xa ndidlala ndithi, heyi, ningasingxameli intweni sisuka ezilalini imibala siyazi. Ndisuka kwikhaya belinezindlu ezimbini, uRondaville, ulikhitshi, ukwayibhedroom. Kuphekelwa apha, kulalwa apha, right? And then you've got i-flat, ihlala oomalume bakho. So that's what became my highlight, was to have an ability. Athi ngoku sele ngekho ndikwazi ukwakha phaa kwakhe. It's something that was fulfilling for me. And then the second thing that fulfilled me kule nyanga iphelileyo was to have 3 females graduating out of them being assisted by me. They're graduating, there are females, they're graduating, and the other one, uthi kum sele sendifumene umsebenzi ndiyaphangela, ndizogqibezela umgraduate wam. The other one says, no sisi, ndidicayide ukwenza i-masters, i-honours. The other one is saying that ndigqibo ubizwa ngoku for an interview. That's what fulfilled me. And I remember talking about abantwana abagraduayo uba, hey, niyagrada, there's a lot of things ezenzekayo eSouth Africa, the economy is this and that, but the fact that kokwenu, you are the first person to be graduate. And I said that knowing very well that in my family I was the first one to be graduate. And that's a family history, but it became my responsibility to make it a community achievement. Because, one of the things that a hindrance to South Africa as a country is to breed abantu selfish, is to breed abantu abangathi isikolo sam must benefit abantu baseGwatana. Isikolo sam must benefit abantu base-Eastern Cape. Laa ndithi umntu ndithi uze ndimncede, ndiyamazi uTshepo yena uzandenzela ntoni. To get it? So it's that's what fulfills me, is to know into yoba kulo nyaka there are 3 people. I don't care how the year ends, it's material for me. But it's to know that there are 3 graduates that I have contributed in their journey of being graduates. Right? I'm not going to speak about all other small things that people come and request this and that. Hi, can you buy me this? Those zincinci lezo. But what makes me go sleep at night peacefully was to go to the University of Fort Hare and watch 3 girls graduating. To get it? And that graduation is not just a graduation. There's a person who's graduating honors here, which is 2nd degree. There's a person who's saying, already, send the money to get a person. And the other one is saying that there's the honors. And uzenzi honors eyigqibe i-degree yakhe at the recorded time. So that is it.
Hey, bombs. But Sankara once said this one important aspect when he said, I'm getting over in my country to revolutionize my country. And he said, empower women. Once we empower women, you are multiplying the worth of your own economy and your own country. I mean, what you just said now is the equivalent of that statement, that I want to see 50-50 of people in parliament. Back then, the white people in their so-called democratic, civilized society, they have not even moved an inch of putting women to be in power in parliament positions, in cabinet. But when Sankara took that step, we saw how Burkina Faso began to take its own cause, rightful cause in the world. So that means power to women. And once you give that power to women and empower women, I just don't know why men are afraid of the empowerment of women. You know, we've got such another challenge of men where when women are empowered, you see that they start to feel that they get undermined, or they feel that their pompousness is not exerted enough, because now the women have taken the stage. But when you look at the women, what they do in the homes of those men, what changes they make in the homes of those men, you realize that if there was no woman in many homes, you wouldn't be seeing any progress in those homes. Because men, really, we need to have our own conversation of why we are not taking a position that we're supposed to build up in our own homes and be counted as people in our own homes. I think women have really played that role really well. I thought, let me just make that position to be heard right now. Going forward now, unintended babies. The serious stuff now, unintended babies, and their effects on the country's budget. How can this challenge be addressed? We are living now with the high teenage pregnancy. You know, when you are a teenager and you are pregnant, it means that you are still part of the planning phase by your parents to get somewhere. So you have not fully developed to be a responsible person. Now you already get another load of a, I don't want to say it's a burden, I want to say it's a blessing, but it's a load of a blessing. But have you asked yourself, when another person who is making this child, are you the blessing to this child? So those are the questions that we also must ask ourselves. What is your view about unintended babies, and where is this thing taking to the country and the budget thereof?
You know, I'm just going to be honest. It's my personal view. It's my personal comment. You know, in South Africa, there was a time where there was a debate. Excuse me. There was a debate about an argument that was raised by Tato Mbeki. Can a virus cause a syndrome? A syndrome. There was that
The HIV and the AIDS
yes.
part, yeah.
There was that commotion, and in the midst of what he was arguing, he said, "We must address poverty because anyway,
Noise, my ear.
anyway, when you about to take a medication, you must firstly eat, and when you then, as a government, quickly go to buy medication, uzabanika abantu but bazawutya ntoni?" I'm just trying to paraphrase it and simplify it. It moved from HIV and AIDS at that debate, and it came to societal issues. The Eastern Cape is a province that provides other provinces with manpower. Right?
Say that again.
Now, la movement yabantu from Eastern Cape to la movement yabantu from Eastern Cape to other provinces has made i-Eastern Cape into yoba ibe ne-reality yento yoba ibe ne-child-headed families. And those child-headed families, they are kids that become vulnerable to everything. Babe vulnerable, and then when they are vulnerable, abanye they end up being pregnant. It's a reality.
Yeah.
And the second aspect of that talks to community ethics. You see, when we grew up, we used to know into yoba angeke ugeze phambi komntu omdala, uzawubethwa gqithi, akubethe ogqiba kulandele akuse phaa kokwenu, axelele umzali wakhe into yoba no, ebesenza into ethile ndimbethile, aphinde umzali wakhe akubethe. Now,
Kwasesikolweni.
ubuya esikolweni usithi utitshala udokotha undibethile, ubethelwa le nto ubethiwe because uyaziva uba surely ikhona into erongo yenzileyo. Sorry. Now, that erosion of community responsibility in building abantwana has made abantwana to interpret what is prescribed by government that abantwana babethwe. Sangathi badiscipline. But don't beat the kid until ingane. Yabo? And zangathi abantwana banamalungelo on top of their parents to get it. But what government was trying to do was to say, at least your anger, contain it.
Yeah.
Whatever that is making you angry, don't take it to the kid because you are mlimaza and all that and all that. And leyo kunganamakhaya angenabantu abadala, I tell you, is felt by everyone in the province. The Department of Health is dealing with abantwana that give birth at the age of 12. Right? And when that kid is giving birth at the age of 12, it therefore means that she is going to become a dropout. It becomes a problem of education. And when that kid has got a kid, because down at 12, we are still under a grant.
Yeah.
Now we're going to that must get a grant. It social development has to come in with a grant. And then iphinde ikuxelele loo nto leyo into yoba xa kusenza uhlengahlengiso lebhajethi, u-economic development ancishwe imali in benefit of the social cluster departments. So I'm just saying, when it comes to unplanned children, it's a very serious momentous task for government because uthetha ngabantu ekuzawunyanzeleka into yoba zonke ii-department zibe affected because one family has been faced with a reality into yoba ibe icategorized as a child-headed family. Abantwana bayazihlalela, bayazikhulela, and loo nto ibenza bathathe naziphi na izigqibo. And akukho xesha apha kule family lento yoba kuthiwe, what do you understand about family planning? Umntana uyaqhuba ubomi abe kwi-puberty stage. Puberty stage, there is no discussion about life esuka emzalini wakhe. Uhlala nomakhulu, and njengoba ehlala nomakhulu nje une-questions ezilapha entloko kuye umakhulu angakwazi uziphendula. So it's not an easy thing, and it's a thorn in the hip of government. Andithi Eastern Cape, ndithi government, because it tells you that xa kusenza i-budget provisions kwawunyanzeleka mhlawumbi kuthiwe hayi asingobantu abaneemfaso, masincishe apha emajonini, right? Because ke kweli cala linabantu abaninzi
Immediate lo.
and yonke loo nto Tshepo yenzeka in an economy that is not growing. Yenzeka in an economy that is not growing. That's a reality. Yabo. So that's a sad reality about the province and the country.
Andicinga uba uzawungena nje ukuthi we are giving that reality, but what is the solution?
No. Solution has to be a collaboration. The family must take responsibility in how they raise abantwana. That's the reality. They must take responsibility on how they raise abantwana. And two, we must have an acceptance that the economy of the country is in a tight corner. And the land of family planning and the use of condom is no longer a slogan now, but a reality. It has to be a reality, especially when you know that you're bringing a kid in this world, and you're not going to have a proper way yokumkhulisa. If entirely uzoxhomekeka ku-government, mhlawumbi u-government angakhe aba-athende aba-understande ababini. Once ufike ku-4, then kufuneka sibuzane ii-questions. Funeka sibuzane ii-questions because at the end of the day, that becomes a burden kurhulumente. And urhulumente unexanduva, just generally thina singabantu, uba siyi-understande into yoba sinexanduva le nto yoba sixelele inyani. Uxelele into yoba noko ababini siyaba-understanda. Once uthi 3, 4, 5, then sizawuba nee-questions ezininzi. Ingakumbi xana urhulumente ekwazi into yoba athi ungakwazi into yoba ubheke ekliniki uyofaka i-implant, ungamane usenyuka every month ubheke ekliniki. Ungakwazi into yoba ubheke ekliniki ufumane i-protection in the form of condoms. Ungakwazi into yoba ubheke ekliniki unikwe the medication if you don't need the 2 options. So I'm trying to say, ezinye izinto funeka kubekho nje ixesha lento yoba sibe nenyani ngazo. Andithi zirongo ii-programs ezenzekayo, but into endiyithethayo yinto yoba ingxaki esijongene nayo siyikhaya yinto yoba i-economy yethu ayikhuli. Ayikhuli, every day umamela osopolitiko besithi uba ayikhuli. Now it means funeka urobhe uPeter to pay Paul, funeka urobhe Paul to pay Mary. Uzawuyenza loo nto kude kube nini? Ingakumbi xa unento ethi bekumele uba sizibuze into yoba yimalini esiyibeka ecaleni for ii-condoms versus inamba yabantu ababa-pregnant ngonyaka. Funeka sifike kuloo debate, sibuze uba ngeyiphi efuneke siyidisayidile strongly kuyo. Sidisayida ngapha okanye sidisayida kweli cala lee-condoms. Okay.
You're saying a mouthful. Thanks a lot. And I think where you are going, you make me go back to analyze how the progressive countries decided to work themselves out of the economic problem. Case in point is the one, yes, the communist countries. communist countries that have become progressive, they have made an appointment with the point that says to take our people out of poverty is our duty as government. And people who are poor, they may not necessarily have the understanding of the future because they are too struggling. They are too busy struggling about today's bread than to think about 5 years later. These people, they actually are the people who have given us this task to think about the 10, 50 years to come. And we must make an appointment to make the decision, no matter how difficult and how hard it can be. Ingangandastandeki today, but 10, 20 years later, they will be the people who are going to come back and thank us. And to tell you today that it's the Communist Party that was the first to come up with the policy of abortion. And that policy of abortion, they just did not have two ways about it. They said you get a baby without proper planning or proper mechanisms, you are going to be forced that you're going to abort that child. If you make a baby and while seeing the lady abortion, it means you are resistant towards the that means you are fit to be a parent to this child. Then you must be penalized and get a heavy penalty. And where we're gonna start with? We're gonna start with the people in the government. We're gonna start with the people who are seniors. Because the people who are seniors, if we let them get away with this thing, it means we are opening up a loophole for the poor people to follow suit. Then they decided to be strict on that. And look where we are with China today. Look where we are with the countries that are communist countries, that they made that decision. So we ought to have that government who's got to make such bold steps and bold decisions. And I think what they also made a very valid point was that umntana sisipho somuntu wonke. Ayisosipho of the rich only. If you are rich, you are making more than 2 kids, one. That means you are also overstepping our laws. You got to be penalized for overstepping over their laws. And that thing just became a blanket approach for the rest of the country, and the country received it. But later in life, for them, they realized that, wow, we did not know where this thing is taking us to. So I wanted just to make the highlight that once we get to things like this, we need a government who can take bold steps. And that government who takes bold steps is the government that will know is going to make us cross to this borderline that we find ourselves in. Then the next point that we are putting while we are on this issue is that kukumcimbi odla umzi currently, umcimbi we-immigration. And there's no way that we can talk about ezidlumzi sigqibe siyiskiphe into edlumzi. Idlumzi ngoku idla umzi ngoku just apha ephondweni a place called Enompumelelo Eqobhas. There were people of the place that were marching, and one of the leaders of the marchers got the house burned, and it was had to do with illegal immigrants. It is not only the only one. There's many examples that we see. Actually, kule ndawo sikuyo ngalo mzuzu, where you see that there is a high tension, and not having to say that we in our work environments, we've got friends who are also immigrants who have treated us good. I know of a friend who comes from Zim. Whenever he's got something to share or business opportunity, I know I'm one of the people he thinks about. I become of those people he thinks about. I've got a friend who comes from Ghana. Whenever that guy lands in South Africa, he will just say, my brother, I've got the secured place. I've got the hotel secured. When your job is to get yourself to where I am, everything will be sorted. So we live with the people who are coming outside of the country, and we enjoy the friendship because we treat ourselves as Africans as they are. So we need to look at this thing in the most balanced way as well. So that's why I want to throw it to you so that you know that Gumtingo ete. So
We began our discussion with me saying what makes me happy is the implementation of the constitution to the latter, but the issue of what is called xenophobia or Afrophobia is a moral issue, right?
Okay.
It's a moral issue. And the issue of the public picket that is taking place across the country and most probably across all provinces, it's an issue that relates with the Constitution of South Africa. Constitution of South Africa is very clear on what it defines, on how it defines a person who lands in OR Tambo Airport.
Yeah.
You apply to be in South Africa. You get to explain reasons why you want to be in South Africa. You get to be approved based on the reasons that you have provided and the facts that you have provided to the Home Affairs and the security of the country. Once you get into South Africa using a back door, you are called an illegal immigrant, right?
Yeah.
And then you are trampling on the constitution of the country, right? And when you're trampling with the constitution of the country, it's obligatory to the state. It's an obligation of the state to deal with you because uchamele constitution yethu, and we have an obligation to protect the constitution. That's the first part. The second part is that it's impossible indoba ube continentalist and internationalist before you are a nationalist. Awuzukwazi umthanda ummelwane ungamthandi usister wakho, right? Ingxaki ngoku le debate ye-immigration turmoil or chaos and however one can explain it is that yenzeka kubantu abanepain ye-poverty kuqala, right? Yenzeka kubantu abasithi abane-problem ye-unemployment. Yenzeka kuthi sine-problem ye-family members zethu that are on drugs, right? Xa ulambile awuzuyimamela i-politician ekuxelela nge-African agenda.
2063.
Awuzukwazi laa politician noba ingathetha ithini ayizukwazi ukugqobhoza to the fact that yima ke ngoku uComrade Qabane or fighter whatever the arrangement is lambile ngoku. And two, awuzukwazi umconvinsa umzali onomntana osuka eSouthern Hood ehle ngestrato adibane nekona ekuthiwa inesaluni afumane drugs. Awuzukwazi umconvinsa nge-African agenda. Now, the question is, abantu baphikethayo baphikethela ntoni? They are reminding you, government, to implement your own constitution. They aren't doing anything extraordinary. They're reminding you that you've got foreign guests here. And some of these foreign guests, they are illegal. And your own constitution suggests that when they are illegal, they must be shipped out. And in fact, they must be arrested and be asked, how did you land here? You get it? That is the first reality that we must deal with. Then, one would ask what needs to be done. The debate of immigration is not a South African peculiar problem. It's a continental issue. And it can't be accepted that other leaders of the countries that are having citizens flocking in South Africa, they are quiet in this problem. Because once you mismanage your own country in Ghana or in Nigeria, in wherever, you are mismanaging it And the remnants of that will spill over to other countries. And by the way, we must have a debate, and a very genuine one. As a country, get out of the position that you are in and the comfort zone that one man be acting on. There are countries in Africa that have got a known civil war problem. One of those is Tunisia. One of those is South Sudan. But when you look at the people that are flocking in South Africa as a country, they're not coming in those war-torn countries. These people are coming from Pakistan, Bangladesh. Those people are busy having nice life. They're hosting even World Cups. And in most instances, many of them, when they hear, they say that we're here to start. Okay, we start the job. They can't mention even a single university. So I'm trying to say, there's a reality that the issue of xenophobia is a moral issue. It's a moral issue. But the issue of illegal immigrants in South Africa is a legal matter. It needs to be, people must be litigated by government. Government must litigate those people that are here wrongly. And the third question that we must all enter onto as Africans, sikwazi ukuxelelwa, hey comrade, uyayicollapse Uganda. And as you do that chaos, it's going to affect me. Because people will run away from your chaos and come here. And I do not have space for them. Jonga. There's that thing called budget adjustment, a budget presentation. A budget as a Eastern Cape, it comes according to the number of people that are known to be in Eastern Cape. Right?
Yes.
Kuthi Eastern Cape, naba abantu bethu abaregister ngumbocela nguThepho ngubani. Bayi-6 million. We give them a budget elingana nalona. Once kubekho abantu abangena ngefestini, bazawugula ngenye ixesha, batshayiswe izimoto, babheke esibhedlele. Kufike kuthiwa asinabudget yenu. That's how it is. That's how it is. You must be known that you are here. Budget of government, they respond to you. Being known that you are here. So I'm trying to say, akufunekanga siyixoxele into illegal immigrants isime ngeenyawo, and it must be accepted that it is a legal matter. Akufunekanga ukuthi hayi ngaba balwa ababafuni because abanye bamnyama abanye bamhlophe. Inezinto eziserious ezimbini. It's a moral issue. Yokucaphukela umuntu on the basis into yoba ngokwaseZimbabwe urongo. Umcaphukele umuntu because ulapha eSouth Africa wrongly, and that is a criminality. It can't be interpreted in any way. Makabe lapha eSouth Africa in a manner that is prescribed in the Constitution. It ends there. Then xa ulapha kusithiwa ulapha uzofundisa eSouth Africa for 6 months, 6 years, nasi study permit sakho, ugovernment wakho uyakukubhatalela. We're happy. Mna futhi I stayed kwi-residence. Urumza wami was a person from Zimbabwe. Sisancokola even today, no Rumza. Because he was in the country, right? But I will have a problem yoba nomneze engingamaziyo ufike nini athi gqoka ubusuku athi khushu okwekhowa. I will have a problem because I don't know uba uze njani. That is the reality. And akukhathaliseki noba abantu kungaxoxwa in which level ye-English ne-politics. Abanye abantu bathetha from a point of direct experience. Wena njengoba wenzile nje, ukhula phaa kulaa lali yakho, kukho umntu oneshophu phaa kwakuthiwa nguZakancinci. Right? Kodwa wawukhe nimbone ephumile ngapha kwekhawuntari ehleli phaa phandle encokola nabantu abagqithayo. Yabona lo muntu uzivalele endlini imini yonke, athethe nawe ngefestini. There's a problem. And it's on us. And this is it's on us. It's on us in the sense that funeka sikwazi into yoba awuchameli kwabambili usithengisela bona. And xa kufuneke uyozirelieve ubheka. The fact that asikuboni uyenza loo nto leyo, oku kutya sikutyayo sikuthengiselwa ngoku safe kangakanani. Now, umntu ohlala kwi-high walled areas ophuma endlini eqhutyelwa by whoever ayothenga kwezi shophu zinamagama serious azuyi-understand into yoba mna ndithenga ku-Abdul ochama apha kule ndlu athengisa koba. So I'm just making that as an example.
No, you make a very valid points. Where your point zindikhumbuza ngoku about Angela Merkel, the Chancellor yase-Germany. In 2011, there was an uprising in Syria. That area of Syria, Iraq, but it was Syria mostly, where now kwakunyanzeleka because there's this uprising, actually there's this civil war that is happening. So abantu bayaphuma from the country, and the closest they can get is to Germany. You know what Chancellor said? Chancellor said, kwi-budget esinayo in Germany, we got a surplus that can accommodate. I think then she was saying around 500,000. She said, if I'm going to go beyond 500,000,
You have to pay.
it means uba ndizawuvukelwa mna ngabantu bam bandivotele out bandikhuphe kwakule position ndikuyo because andiyiprotekthi le nto bandivotele yona aba bantu. So she just went straight and said, I'm frank about this thing. I can only take this number. Any number beyond that, I've got no duty and no responsibility that I can go for it. So it means ke ngoku where you are going that the budget is the determiner with the numbers of people in that country. If you don't have anything surplus, that means what are you? Why are you bringing more problems with the problems that you already have? So you're making a very valid statement about whether do we even know the numbers that we have as the people in the country and the people who are illegal in the country. That's also a topic for another day. Then let's go forward. Hey guys,
Very serious one, eh?
it is so cold and chilly outside here, and it makes me believe ukuthi in the future Epondweni must have the blankets that are written Epondweni. we must,
No, but
we
this
must,
is nice.
yeah, no, we must have the clothes that are called Epondweni. We're just gonna wrap ourselves, and when it's cold, we are just enjoying the fun because it is so. I think this topic that we are holding now, or this moment we are holding, it is so fulfilling such that ingasi paid. I think we even went close to an hour now, like, but it is like so beautifully packaged that you have somebody who is in sync with what is happening in the life of what is happening around the people of Sepondwe. And it's not easy to want to stop this conversation. But going forward, I think we are close to the end now. What plan do you think abantu okanye government okanye abaphathi basephondweni can have for the people who are living in poverty? What do you think the strategy could come from le budget esiyifumanayo siyabelwayo inoncedisa njani kubantu abahluphekayo basephondweni? What do you think maybe is running short, the challenges that are there? Or what can be done if you could be given that mandate and that little power to say, nansi inamba yabantu basephondweni, what can we do with the people who are living in extreme poverty to change their cause and just basfilishe nabo ipart yale mpilo yasephondweni?
You know, I think 2 weeks back, no. I think a week ago, I read an article on News 24. A city, there are 4 municipalities that are likely to return money to National Treasure.
Balapha ephondweni.
Yeah. And I also read an article with Daily Maverick where they were talking about 1.5 billion categorized as maladministration. And I dare say, the problem that we have sometimes as people who are bestowed with a responsibility to change ubomi bomntu is that asinazinhliziyo. Mm. Mm. You know, once kubekho urhulumente otyholwa ngentoba une-1.5 billion that is apportioned to maladministration, ithetha intoba abo bavuka ekuseni banxiba oothayi neechops babheke emsebenzini benza ingqusho. I am not saying that's what they do, but I'm saying the manner in which that article is explaining it. That's what it says. And the day we get to accept that asinangxaki budget eSouth Africa, andithe Eastern Cape, ndithe South Africa. ESouth Africa, we don't have a problem of budget. South Africa, we've got a problem yoba we don't know which one must come first before the other. So, a simple example. There was a time where in the country we're speaking about fourth industrial revolution.
I remember very well.
Anyone who can take time and analyze where we are now, you are guaranteed 1,000 rand. You are guaranteed. This is where we are. This is how far we've went with it, and most probably this is how far we've made a change through that concept of fourth industrial revolution. And the question is, was it necessary? No. The reality is, we're just under pressure in a bus. That's my understanding. At Eastern Cape, you need to define whether ntoni esinayo, ntoni esingenayo. Awunazo minds. Eastern Cape, accept uba unazo. Don't behave like unazo. And don't speak as though you have them and plan as though you have them, because you don't have them. And you're not going to invent them anymore. That's the first thing, is to accept what you have and make big out of it, small as it is. The second thing, I always say, akukho nelinye umntu okwi-politics ekuthiwa yi-politician onoze enze into erongo without igosa likarhulumente agreeing.
Administration.
It's not possible. It's not possible. There's not even a single person of a political party that can be corrupt without an official of government. So the engines of the state of this province and the engines of the state of this country are the administrators. It's them abathatha 6 months to pay an invoice yakho ngoba kwaziwa i-SMME. Akufunekanga ukuthi usenyuka ujamele ii-politicians uba anisibhatali nini. They most probably don't even know how this thing of supply chain is moving. They don't. But there is a person who is the one that should be pressing the buttons that decides not to. So xa sigqibile singabantu ukubuza questions on the side of politicians, we must ask questions on the side of officials. What kind of officials are we? Uba mna xa ndifowunelwe ndiligosa likarhulumente ndimxelele uba cela undifowunele ngo-3 ndibhizi. Ubhizi yintoni? Ungatsho kwitshomi yakho uba hayi tshomi ndicela undifowunele ngo-3 okanye hayi colleague ndicela undifowunele ngo-3. But to a member of public, you can't say that. You can't say that to a member of a public. And you can't not have a culture of now. Don't say, I will see it. When will you see it? Because abantu base-South Africa, I tell you, they know that government has got a capacity to perform.
Yeah.
But into abangaqinisekanga ngayo nguwena. And la wena akazuphendulwa zii-politicians, uzophendulwa zii-officials zika-government. Because ndim umntu oyaziyo into yoba ibhajethi ingena nini. Ndim oyaziyo i-pace yokumuva kwememo. Ndim that must tell the when part to the politician. And xa ndithela the when part to the politician, I must be honest. Do you get it? So those are the things that we need to accept. And abantu funeka Yabona le nto yokuba sicinga zoba siseku-1994. Abantu baseSouth Africa they are very smart ngoku. Nona 12 years uyayazi uba no wena you are lying. They will tell you that you are lying. So I'm trying to say ezinye izinto they just need umuntu onentliziyo uzezenzela. Ube nentliziyo nje yobuntu because i-budget yona eSouth Africa ikhona. The problem is the spending.
Yho, uzama ukuthi lilonke uba ityeshelwe ibathupile principles. Uba ungathi uye kwi-officials uthi khawusidwelise ngobunjalo bazo unganzinyana. No, you said a mouthful. I think we are on the closure of our session. On this closure of our session ke kuvela into yokuthi asithethi ngepoverty sithule, kuba siyababuza abantu nee-political parties sithi nithini ngepoverty. Bazibeke izinto, bazibeke ubona uba heyi in a long distance ipoverty ibe ingxaki ngoku emntwini. Ibe ingxaki ngoku emntwini to the point ke ngoku siqonda uba nathi xa siyibuzwa siyile podcast engwezidlumi zephondweni, xa sibuzwa ngepoverty, xa sifuneka siyiphendulile sawuphendula sithini thina. So we had to uba senze amanyinge ke ukuba sizame uku-identifya ukuthi what could be the areas of possibilities that we can start some sort of something that esinokuthi we're gonna part ways to build when sinezi conversations. Siye sabonisana ke ekuhlaleni kwethu phantsi sathi heyi kuyafuneka into yokuthi singabantu basephondweni sibe nayo into ebizwa into yokubana make sakhe isizwe sikaPhalo. Xa sisakha isizwe sikaPhalo ke iyafuneka sikhangele abantu esibabonayo uba ngokwenene aba bantu bangangumzekelo wokuba nyhani bayayazi ukuthi the cause that is behind abantu basephondweni. So siye samfumana ke umfana okunye nathi apha onguMalwande. UMalwande ngu-Oscar uMakhalima eseneni yakhe. Ungumfana ke osebenza kwinto zika-financial literacy. I-content yakhe ilapha ephondweni icebisa abantu nge-financial literacy. Ungumntu ke o-well-versed apha ekufundeni. Enye ke into endayibona yandinikeza umdla ngo-Oscar uMawande lo, ndakhe ndambuza ngenye imini ndisithi kha kundinikeze inamba endinokwazi uncediswa ngayo. Wathi hayi man, uke wafika kwaloo nto. Ndathi hey, you're having a valid point. Ndathi ndingakhontaktha abantu phaa kwaloo nto. Ndothuka mna xa uMalwande ndinikeza i-top notch kwaloo nto, u-CEO ngokwakhe uPityana, and I was like it's not expected ukubana umntu angavese andinikeze the contact number ne-cell number yomntu ophethe ngu-CEO wabapha. Ndandamfowunela nyhani wathi hayi no, urayithi uba undifowunele but ke the structures ezirayithi zisendaweni ethile nasendaweni ethile nasendaweni ethile. I was like wow. So these are the people endiqonda uba kule nto kwasakha isizwe sikaPhalo ngomnye wabantu endiqonda uba asikwazi umshiya ngasemva ngokwemisebenzi aseyenza eluntwini, nokufundisa abantu about financial literacy, how to save, how to invest, how to hedge the money. As a result ngumntu omfumanisa uba ubudimandi ngoku outside of the province ndikandithanda ngoba hayi ndifuna uba yiza kwi-interview abacingi abantu uba hayi lo mntu angomntu olapha eJoburg okanye olapha eKapa, ngumntu olapha e-Eastern Cape. To the point ke ndiqonda uba is one of those guys esiqonda uba siyamnida into yobana abe yipati yale nto. So sizama ukuthi sizafuna ukuqalisa into yokuthiwa yinto yobu-contribution esakuthi make kubekho apho kubethwa khona esivivaneni khona. Abantu abanjengabo, abanjengani, abayi-voice of reason, kuthi xa kuhleli kuthiwa siqokelele imali engaka ngoku, ike nikelwe kuni kuthiwe khaniboneni ke ukuthi siyaphi ngale nto sinayo ibethwayo ilapha, kangubana sisasebenzela uba mayibe khona into ezawuba bubhenki wena ekuzawuthi tozi conversation sinazo simane sibaxelela abantu sibanqwenqweda ukuthi siyanicela khake nibetheni. Bakhona abantu esibaziyo into yoba noko le nto xa iqokelelwe bazawuba nayo inyani yokuba ba-akhawunte, bazawuba nayo inyani yokuthi le nto xa iphuma izawuphuma ifikele kubantu emele ifikela kubo. So sinaloo nto ke sizayiqala going forward esawubiza isizwe sikaphala. Ukuyiklowuza ke sinoJacinta eKZN.